Grand Pigeons Duty is a game available on Steam for 99 cents as of August 5th, 2016. It is made by Russian developer Wolfgangles and has a pixel art style that you can see here, a pretty awesome soundtrack that you can hear, and let's hop into some gameplay. It's actually a pun. I'm going to jump into the last level I was at because you didn't really miss anything. It's actually this. I love this guy here. There's lots of different NPCs that talk to you before the mission, all of which have amazing sprites. Like there's like hipster ones and like a guy that kind of looks like Guy Fieri and like it's great. I love the art here. Cheeky text here. Developer says that sorry for bad translation. I find it totally fine, and honestly, like, the bad translation makes me think this is like maybe like a Russian general and you're Russian pigeons. But the concept is, for whatever reason, oh, actually I think it just said, but I forgot. I don't know. They give you there's like the people. There's like a food shortage or something, and people aren't feeding pigeons anymore, so they're going to war with people by pooping on them. Hence the pun in the name DOODY. And so you have to hit cars 3 times, and people you only have to hit once, like that. And each mission you're given a certain amount of bread to, like, they ration out a little bit of bread to give to you, and that corresponds to a certain number of ammunition, essentially. How many duties you can drop on the people. The art is great, as I said before. I think the concept is pretty clear, what you have to do. And in videos on the Steam page, I lost. I have to get all 3 cars and 12 people. Videos on the Steam page imply other mechanics, which I have not come across because this is only like the 5th level. And normally I don't like to talk about games after seeing so little of them because it's not fair. What if I'm missing a bunch of stuff? But this game, I think I have enough complaints as to why I haven't gotten farther to sort of justify it. Other levels are pretty much a breeze. Then I hit this one and it's crazy hard. Because they actually allow you to have 4 misses, right? Those guys are moving pretty quickly at the bottom, but most importantly on this level, the poops go at such an arc, right? So we're probably gonna lose here. I think I've already missed more than 4. But see here how in order to hit this car, I have to be off the screen? That's a little, like, balance-wise or tuning-wise, that's a little weird, right, to actually have that. Also, if I don't change direction, I'm not actually flying this bird, I'm just hitting a directional button when I want to change directions. And if I just let it go, like, he's gone. And I will change directions now. And he comes right back on the screen. So it's like, clearly, you kind of get stuck at the edge and he doesn't move much farther and then he comes right back on the screen. So that makes it kind of hard. Like, if you have to be over here to hit, yeah. So I think that mechanic could use a little bit more polish. Also, the arc that we're launching our duty at here is the same. I'm on hard mode right now, which adds a little bit of RNG to the arc, which makes things extra hard. I played it on easy for a while, but I still couldn't beat it. Let me try this one more time. And so the arc, as you can see, is like similar every time, because there's a wind meter, and the wind meter looks like there's an arrow pointing in this direction to say the wind is moving this way. And in fact, I've actually had that symbol. I think there was an update, a patch, which may have fixed this just a couple days ago. But the arrow was pointing in the wrong direction from the way the poop was going, and I was very confused. Like, sometimes it seems to be right, sometimes it seems to be wrong. Here we go again, this difficult It also looks like once you go off screen, your pigeon slows down a lot. Maybe we could actually use that to our advantage. I don't know. Well, we already don't have enough to go, so let's go. One minor complaint, continue button, then there's a go to menu button. If you click it, it does nothing, but then you click yes or no as to whether or not you want to go. So no and continue, kind of synonymous. Go to menu and yes, kind of synonymous. I don't see the need for both of them, but that's a really minor point. You can go to easy mode here. If we look at levels, you can see there's clearly something here that's kind of interesting, right? Clearly you get to make some judgment calls. There's seems to be quite a bit of levels, and there's a storyline here. You can read it yourself. Welcome, John. We heard about the extraordinary abilities, which is why we sent for your coherent. Yeah, so, I don't know. Assistants told me that you think this is super fast bowel disease. So, you get diarrhea. I'm gonna skip through it. You can read it on your own time. It's not bad. There's a little note in the game. This is with it without wind. And without wind, like, trying to hit those people while you're flying, you know, hitting the cars would be easy without wind, but the people would still be a challenge, you know what I mean? It seems really hard with that crazy arc, especially on hard mode where the arc is slightly different every time. And that's level 6. So there are other mechanics like a rapid fire thing that I saw. Rapid fire pooping on the Steam page. Not getting yet to experience it. The point I was trying to make, here's another guy. I wanted to show you this guy. He looks kind of cool. I don't know. I think the art is fantastic. I think the music is fantastic too. So let's just go back to the menu here. Settings wise, very minimal, very strange. Took me a second to figure out. There's like the control buttons are on the diagonal, and then like the indicators for this is volume down is like there. It's like very strange like that, but nice. It's a nice style, I guess. Well, took me a while. I'm like clicking on everything here, trying to figure out how to get it to work. English and Russian, full screen and not full screen. Nice thing. One thing I thought was really neat is that when you actually go out of full screen, I won't do it, but when you go out of full screen, you can actually click and drag and resize the window. Like, that's something that for some reason exists in most kinds of software except games, and I think probably it has to do with, like, maybe performance reasons about if they know that they're going to draw on a 16 by 9 aspect ratio, they can better size UI. But, you know, the fact that this game has it, I think is really cool. Yeah, here's the little note about you may not be satisfied with the translation quality. And I developed this game alone more than 6 months. So we can also see the credits. That's not the credits. These are the credits. That it really is developed pretty much alone. We have some credits here for the music and some testers. Sound effects all generated using that online tool. I think that's an online tool. Maybe it's just like a link of where you can download sound effects. But Mark Cuban, sorry, Mark Cuban made this game. There's 4chan on there too. I love the game's quirkiness. I think that 6 months is a long time to be working on a project alone. I can tell you that from experience, but that it's nothing compared to working on a project for 1 year and having it be amazing. And I think this game could be a total cult hit, amazing thing with just a little bit more focus on the gameplay, right? The storyline, you know, it's minimal and it's kind of cheeky and you know, this concept about birds revolting through poop. I think the art is totally there, right? Like Papers, Please had a similar-ish art style, or at least similar in terms of like complexity, and that was obviously a huge hit. So I think this game is you know 10 out of 10 on that, you know, with the pigeons and the way they look and the facial hair and the I love that. I think that's awesome. It's just this part, right? It's just this part of it got pretty hard and it seems to have pretty high expectations. And then I don't know. So I held off making the review because I was fearful of a bug. Can I actually do this? No, I can't. I'm one away from actually being able to actually complete this mission. I wasn't sure if there was a bug, like that maybe these poops were flying a little bit too drastically, or the other thing is that the wind doesn't change. Like sometimes it seems to change when I play the level. It's like maybe the direction changes, but overall it's like the same wind. So I actually held off making it expecting a patch. Didn't see one, so I'm gonna make it anyways because I'm assuming it's working correctly. I'll make a note if indeed it does get patched. But they, like, I would just want a little more, I guess. And oftentimes when there's a one-man team, I don't like asking for more because I know that that's a difficult request because even one feature adds so much time and so much work. And I totally, bravo, really, for making all this and getting so much of it right. But I could only do this maybe 10 times. Oh, look, direction changed. Before I just felt like, I needed a new mechanic quick because I've already basically, I don't know, done as much of this mechanic as I wanted to do alone. And didn't get one, and instead got stuck on the 6th level with, the conditions of don't miss 4 shots out of 24. With these people, like the cars I got pretty good at eventually. But, I mean, come on. Really? Hitting these people moving like that? I mean, it doesn't look that hard. They don't seem to be moving that fast, but you're moving, and then the thing has this huge arc. Try it. The game's 99 cents. If you really think you can beat me, like, try it. See how many tries it takes to do this level. I might just be horrible. I already don't have enough. Yeah, I don't know what's controlling the wind. Like, another part of me thought that maybe, a little bit of RNG would be in here so that maybe I would get some wind that was really, like, mild at one point. And if that was true, then, I just could beat the level once and never come back to it. But, again, the wind seems... I don't understand the wind mechanic, really, I guess. Because there is certainly some randomness to it, and it's changing, but it almost seems like it's only changing direction, not strength? I guess that's a possibility. Yeah. Yep, already blew it. Gotta start over. So how many times, as a developer, it's hard because you've planned all these other things and you know what's ahead, so the developers know of all the other mechanics that are later on in those dozens of levels we saw. As a player, I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're going to be any fun, and I'm trying to make the call now, essentially, of how much enjoyment am I going to get out of this? Like, how many times am I willing to do this? Wait, what happens if I hit space here? Nothing. So, Pigeon's off the screen, can't hit space, and then it like starts off slow, and then he picks up speed for a second. So it kind of throws me off my... Oh, that's really weird. Okay, this is the second game I've noticed that has this problem. I just noticed this. If I hold... Alright, here we go. Ready? I am going to turn to the right. Holding the right button, nothing. I release it, then it changes. This is not the first game. I actually just played another game that I don't know if I'm going to make a video on or not because I try not to make videos that are too negative about games unless the developer's really doing something shady. Or seeming to be decisive. This is so weird. So he's changing direction when I release, but not when I press. So it's almost like you have to try to push the button really quickly if you actually want it to happen instantaneously. But I just played a platformer that had the problem. Maybe I will make a video because now it's relevant. Where the jump happened on the release of the jump button and had the actual duration of how long you pushed the jump button didn't matter, which made platforming really hard, and the Steam page complained about lag. It's not lag, it's that the control scheme is reacting to the wrong event. I expect, as a player, that maybe this is just me, but as a player here, I kind of expect the change in direction to happen when I hit the arrow key, not when I release it. How strange. Okay. Well, maybe that'll help me improve my accuracy at the game, but I kind of doubt it. This still seems like a really hard task. I can tell you for a fact, most of the times I hit people are when I was aiming for somebody and then, like, hit somebody else by chance, like an oncoming person. All right, I already don't have enough. And if the things only get harder from here, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just really bad at this game. There's so much right about it, though. I mean, the little text that pops up. I love the Steam page with this cool-looking pigeon that just has a little speech bubble coming out of it that says "coo." Like, I just love it. Coo. It's so cool. I love it because like coo is pigeons that sound they make it so great. Okay, I just wish that, you know, maybe just a little bit more polish on this. Make it the difficulty scale a little more gradient, and maybe introduce some of the mechanics in early to increase the complexity of the game earlier on, so it's not, we're not just doing this one task for the first couple hours of gameplay, right? And then, you know, even if the last 20 levels there was not an introduction of a new mechanic, I would still prefer that, because at that point I would already have all the mechanics already. Like, I want to spend as much time with the interesting mechanics as possible. And I feel like I've spent plenty of time with this one. It's just a question of how long am I willing to actually play this game to get to the others. And it's not much. When it's this hard and this simplistic, right? I don't feel like I'm improving, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it would take a long time, I think, for my timing skills to improve to actually do this. Okay, I have a solid chance now. I have a solid chance. I have to make 8 shots and I have 11. Nice. Nope, that was bad. That was a bad idea. Sometimes I just fly around waiting for people to cluster up. Nice. Nice. Okay. Maybe I can actually pull this off. Ah, dang it. It does feel like this is oh, shoot. No! This is awful. I have to hit every shot. Oh, dear God. Alright, try to get people bunched up. That seems to be the key. Here's a group. Ooh. Oh, come on. That was right through him. I lost. Bummer. Alright. Thanks for being an awesome audience. That's it for me for now. Feel free to check out Grand Pigeon's DOODY. An indie game made by essentially a single person for 99 cents on Steam. Reasonable price, especially if you feel like you can do better than me and actually see the rest of the game. Reasonable price.